Hello, this is Decoherent, and welcome back to Torment Tides of Numenera. So, seriously, I can't believe that we're still going on. So last time we went through several encounters with people that were still loyal to the changing god, and
to uphold. Dinner tonight on me, literally, if necessary.
Tiber, cool yourself. And then we found this weird piece of equipment that the first was arguing with the changing god about using. And this strikes me as being the technology he invented that might be letting him jump from body to body or something. They said rejuvenate. I don't know what that means exactly. And he blew her off and headed on in. And now it's our turn. So, this thing is so cool looking. Alright, through the Stargate.
Let's go.
Here we go. Wow, this is like the beginning. Who's that? What? Okay, the portal's just over there. Well, obviously, yes. How do I get to these things?
I'm there, in the shadows.
Yeah, that's great, but now what?
Yes.
Oh, there's a thing here. I didn't see that. The dominating image on this panel is of a map of the room, 5 platforms in a circle around the central platform. It looks like controls to raise the floor, connecting the various platforms. Deep cracks radiate out from 3 different places, as though someone had smashed the portal in a hurried rage. The controls are unresponsive. And yet, you feel something. The floors are like those in the deep fathom, where you first awoke after your fatal fall. The platforms, as well as the control panel, are mental constructs like everything else here. They should respond to your will if you just exert it. Let's just see if I can just command them to rise on their own. You stretch out your mind, trying to feel the tides flowing through this place. You certainly feel their energies, but the floors remain stubbornly inert. Apparently, it won't be that easy. Alright, tides away. The tides surround you, swirling throughout the entirety of this place. You exert your will, pushing power through those channels and into the control panel. Even as you watch, the glass reshapes itself, the cracks healing as though they were never there. With a hum and a chitter, the controls come to life. The platform you're standing on pulses with an orange glow, showing the floors in their current state. Touching the platform on the screen should shift the floors. Okay. Cool. A familiar voice echoes from the depths below. You're still here, then. I'd hoped the labyrinth would trap your mind as well, but apparently I made your body too well. You're too late, though. Even if we repaired that entire fathom, I'm at the labyrinth's final defenses. By the time you reach me, I'll have broken through the door. Go ahead, solve the puzzles. They won't matter. In a little while, you'll be nothing more than a whiff of nostalgia in my mind. The voice fades to nothing. I'm such a dick. Okay.
Yes.
Keep poking. Connect it to the one on our left. Okay. The Spectre's voice booms from below. There's no reason this should be easy for you. You hear a great shout from the depths, and suddenly your mind is buffeted with a powerful blast of tidal force. Let's shield ourselves. You reel backwards, energy slamming against your mind like a physical force, but your defenses hold, and you are unharmed. Okay. Didn't we just connect the platform? Well, that's not helpful. Okay. Stop shooting me. Okay.
Yes.
Probably should be paying attention so that I can get this down. Okay, the map on this control panel is fully functional. The platform you are standing on pulses with an orange glow, showing the floors in their current state. Touching the platform on the screen should shift the floors. There's an extra image here that was not visible on the other panels. A human figure in dotted outline. It flickers erratically as though something were wrong with it. Okay, first let's connect the platform. Okay. Yes. You're mad. Fine. Okay, what's the figure? As you place your hand on it, something activates within the panel. Not just this panel, but every panel in the room. The circular stations on every panel glow, and the image of the human figure begins to pulse regularly, as though waiting for input. Okay, let's touch it. Tiny needles puncture your fingers. There's a flash from the circular synth plate next to the panel, and a finger-long blade in its center starts spinning and humming around its axis. As it spins, it produces a three-dimensional image very similar to yourself. Your own body flickers in and out of phase. The blade spins faster and brighter. Your body's flickering accelerates, until finally the blade dissolves, and standing on the platform is a fully grown human that looks remarkably like you. Did I just print a new me? The figure before you looks almost exactly like you, but a woman instead of a man. She doesn't bear your scars, but otherwise her face is like a mirror. "Hello," she says pleasantly. "You must be me." What happened to him? Didn't treat our body all that well. "Who are you?" "Well, I'm a short-lived version of you." She looks you up and down. Well, basically. Our creator used these cloning stations to rapidly prototype different body types and features before deciding on a final shell for his consciousness. She looks at the control panel. These look different from the controls I remember. Looks like I'm stuck on the most recent settings. She flashes you a smile. Not that that's a bad thing, of course. I'm sure you won't mind. So, what is this place? She looks around. I thought it was the cloning laboratory where the prototype bodies were tested. But this doesn't look right at all. Where's the floor and the walls? The equipment's here, but... She looks back at you. It's like a nightmare version of the laboratory I know. As if somebody described the lab to a visitant that didn't quite understand it all, and then the visitant tried to recreate it. She shakes her head. I don't know. How long do you last? Oh, only a few minutes, give or take. Catching your look, she adds. It's not so bad. It doesn't hurt. Well, at least I don't remember it hurting. Okay, if you only remember this for a few minutes, how do you know all of this? Ah, that's the most interesting part. Our creator always liked to process things externally, to have someone to talk to. He constructed assistants all the time. I wasn't able to maintain my memories from version to version. That way, I could provide more useful feedback on how one body moved or felt compared to another. Our progenitor would even have me perform tasks from time to time, sometimes mundane, sometimes dangerous. The fact that I could learn from my mistakes was a great help. Well, that's weird. So if you're me, why are you a woman? She laughs. Our progenitor was funny like that. Gender for the next self was always a last-minute decision. Our creator was never content with one, or even two, genders. It was a fungible thing. He'd constantly explore and experiment, even trying Vargellan, Gibra, and Durek bodies at different points. She stops, looking more thoughtful. You know, even after centuries with our creator, I can't explain the fastidiousness about gender. It's just the way he is. The Vargellan was very interesting. I'm surprised you didn't choose that body more often. Okay, well that's weird. So, could you perform a task for me? Like, walk to that other station and toggle the floors? She gives you a funny look but says, yeah, sure, I can do that. Bleep. Poof. Okay, well that wasn't completely helpful. That wasn't helpful at all. Okay. Tidal energy from the portal blasts the floors back into the depths. You're able to reconnect them to the platform across the fathom, but not to the exit. You'll have to find another way to reach it. Ugh. Alright.
Not ready.
Okay. Can I connect this to the one on the left? Okay. So if I come over and hit this one then, is this going to send us to the center? Let's just see what they do here. Okay. Let's try the far side of the fathom. Which one is this? Okay. What did this do? Okay, this took us back to the start. That's not wildly useful. Okay, so let's do this a little more logically.
I'm going.
Okay, so if we start here, what does this connect? Okay, so to the left. Okay. Ah, okay, so what I want to do is I want to go over here, and I want to send a copy over here to hit this button. Okay? Got it. Alright.
Let's go.
We got this.
Whatever you need.
This is amazing. I love this. Okay, anyway. Buttons.
Yes.
Okay, let's create a copy. You brace yourself this time. The needles puncture your fingers again, and the blades begin spinning. Hey, what up? Hello again, brother. Can I help you with something? I need you to toggle the floor on the other station again, please. Sure, why not? Kind of weird sending yourself on little errands. Ew, it like exploded. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Who are you? It's a stasis chamber, exactly like the one from the ghostly woman's memories. There are no controls on it anywhere, nothing that could help you raise the floors to reach the depths of the labyrinth. A woman lies inside, clearly visible in the shimmering energy field, and looking as though she were asleep. Her features are exactly those of the ghostly woman. Something disturbs the air next to you. The ghostly woman's face begins to appear, as though your thoughts summoned her. Wow. You did summon me, she says, intuiting your thoughts. I can discern your memories more clearly than the others, even more clearly than my own. She looks sadly down into the chamber. But I remember now, this is who I was, the daughter of the changing god. He was the father who tried to save me after the siege of the Tabat. He discovered how to transfer consciousness, my consciousness, into a new body, hoping it would save me, but it didn't. My sickness followed me in my mind. So, he put me in there. He tried to find a cure for me, and when that failed, he tried to bring me back from death itself. He thought I was unconscious in there, but I remember. The memories are fragmented, but they're there. I was aware of everything, and with so many new memories flooding my mind, I'm able to fill in the gaps I didn't know. So, are you a cast-off? I don't quite understand, to be honest. Her eyebrows scrunch together, and she shakes her head. I don't think so. I had my own consciousness like my father does. This is who I was. Now I'm probably just a memory, stored forever in the labyrinth. How much do you remember from being in that tank? I can't tell you in time measurements. I only know I was in the tank until the sorrow attacked us. My father fled, saving himself. She laughs once, but there's no humor in it. Maybe he figured he could bring me back even without my body. It's the kind of thing he would assume. Her face darkens. Maybe he didn't care. How often has he tried to bring you back? Considering he had centuries to do it, not very often. A lot at first, then, well, only when he remembered or had some new idea. He used the probability engines under Sagus Cliff's birth woman with my personality. He tried to use Heaven's Rejoinder, his means for turning back defeats in the endless battle. Once, he tried to kidnap a version of me from an alternate reality, but she died in a tragic accident. He never tried that again. What am I to you, Father? Did you just give up? So was this one constructed from your memories? She looks around her, taking it all in for the first time. I don't recognize... No, wait. Yes, it's all twisted and disordered, like in a nightmare. But yes, I think these are my memories. Okay. I need to get to that portal. Would you mind building me a path?
I'm ready to pick my path.
She looks you directly in the eye, strong and certain. Yes, I can. Neat. Go, she says. Stop him. He's harmed more lives than anyone can count. Oh! Would you thoughtfully heal us? If you have the power to heal the floors, would you mind healing me quick? While you were in this place? Yes, I think I might. You feel nothing more than a tingle as she places her hand on your shoulder. Then, an immense weight of tranquility fills your body and mind. Does that refill everyone? Yes! Alright.
Yes.
Hold on just a second.
On my way.
Okay.
I'm ready.
This art is amazing.
Making a note.
Oh, oops. Level. Okay. Effort. That's all we can do. That's fine. And Makina. Okay. Stat, ability, or skill. What does she have for skills? Quick fingers. Okay. Yeah. An ability. Infuse weapon. Warp dash. Yes. That's 2 speed. Oh, but she has 2 edge, so that shouldn't really cost much, should it? Okay. Okay. I found the door to the resonance. The specter isn't here, but the door is inaccessible. There's 2 other doors I can access. Okay. This is from the beginning!
Are you wearing perfume?
A little scent goes a long way in a band like this.
A little scent, yes. But it smells like you've gone swimming in it.
Okay, team, seriously, there's a lot going on here. Okay.
Yes.
Countless scratches and wounds mar the surface of the store. That's right, yep, someone made a great effort to get inside, but to no avail. As you approach, though, the bars of the door shudder and bend. It wants to let you in. Alright, let's will it to open. The door doesn't open at your touch. Instead, you're drawn into the door itself. Uh-oh. Wow. You're in a glass dome several kilometers above the ground. Blue sky fills your vision. Beneath you is a floor of golden metal. A deafening klaxon blares in warning against something. A familiar-looking stasis chamber lies in the middle of the dome. A chest fashioned from synth and cold iron sits to one side. Behind the pod, a diamond hovers in the air, scattering prismatic light. A pedestal glows near your hand, a deep azure blue. There's nothing that seems to warrant the blaring klaxons, yet you know the alarm sounds for a reason. Okay, let's look at this hovering diamond thing. That's always interesting. I know what's in the chamber. It's going to be the mystery lady. As soon as you approach the diamond, the top of it blooms open. An illusory globe appears within. Words and images speed across its surface. A woman's voice speaks directly into your mind. Welcome back. Please state your query. A wave of familiarity slams into you. The Changing God used this as an archival device. He kept records of his thoughts and experiments. Specific records can be retrieved by speaking a search term. To be honest, I'm mostly curious about what's about to happen to us that's bad, but the Changing God, what do you have to say about us? There are no matching entries. Please restate your query. Okay, the tides. Previews of several entries flit through your mind. There are scores of results, and you can't figure out how they're organized, nor how to quickly ascertain whether an entry will be useful to you or not. It takes some time to sift through them for something useful. You'll have to be careful what you spend time researching. Finally, you find one that's what you're looking for. A male voice, the voice of the body you're wearing, speaks in your mind. The voice says, "The tides have proven to be an extremely fruitful path of exploration. The Tabat don't realize what they've unearthed. They saw these trinkets as just more Numenera, but these forces may even have the power to turn back death itself. I certainly hope so for their sake." Whoa. The Tabat? I don't think I knew that. Okay, what is this alarm? Oh, great. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's look in the chest quick. The chest is locked with a keypad bearing 17 strange symbols. You're about to lose hope when you realize you know which symbol to press to unlock the chest. You enter the correct code before the memory can slip away. The chest opens with a soft click. The only items of note inside are a wooden shaft with a multicolored crystal tied to one end, and a large hemisphere made of azure steel. So what's this steel dome? It's heavy, too heavy to lift by yourself. Your best guess is that it's a wall projector of some kind, probably brought back up here as a defensive measure for the laboratory. Unfortunately, you can't see any indication of what kind of barrier it would create, nor any way to inactivate it. Okay, so what's this rod with the crystal on it? There's nothing mystical about the wooden haft, but the crystal on the end is definitely from a prior world. You think it might be a domination rod. The crystal saps the will of any creature it touches. Okay, let's take it. Why not? The rod has a good heft and balance, like a well-made spear. It may or may not help you, but it'll do more good in your hand than in a box. Okay. Okay, so it said that I don't have a lot of time. The Tabat. The Tabat were fools, but they were skilled scavengers gifted with the luck of having unearthed the Underspine. I still don't know what the Underspine is, but I'm convinced it came from the Dalad, the same people from which I gleaned the powers of the tides and figured out the key to the consciousness transfer. It's the best explanation for the Tabat's success. Without the Underspine, they're little more than abhumans of above-average intelligence. Who are the Dalad? We're playing with things we don't understand. There's a thunderous boom. The floor shakes and sways beneath you, causing you to lose your balance. Outside the dome, the horizon tilts back and forth, giving you a sense of vertigo. Suddenly, a man appears in front of you. He's not all there. You can see the clouds and vista on the other side of him. He wears a mask of human terror on his face. It's broken into the tower. It's only a matter of time before it reaches us here. We have to do something fast. His mannerisms remind you of the specter from the labyrinth, although his face, clothing, and voice are not the same. Okay. What's here? Why are the alarms going off? His face darkens. The Sorrow is here. It found us somehow, and now it's trying to break into the lab. We need to get you out of here. Why is the Sorrow here? What does it want? I couldn't tell you what it wants. Maybe it's something in your archives. You told me when we woke it up, somehow. When we did that first consciousness transfer. Okay, you told me we woke it up when we did the first consciousness transfer. Nailed it. You screwed up something badly playing with toys you didn't understand. What are you? He gives you an odd look. Now's really not the time to get into this again. I'm an intelligence, put in charge of this laboratory, and either created from or overlaid with your knowledge and personality. As your advisor, I refuse to argue about the nature of my existence until we're safely out of this. Okay. What should we do? I strongly advise you to save yourself, thus saving both of our minds. Unfortunately, that would mean leaving her. He looks at the chamber and frowns. I don't like it more than you do. The only other options I can think of are to somehow stop the Sorrow by force, unlikely, or figure out what it wants. He shakes his translucent head. I don't think we have enough time for either, but maybe you know something I don't. He points to the hovering diamond. Maybe you can find something in your archives to help us. Just be careful what you research in there. We don't have any time to waste. If I ask you questions, is that wasting time? So, what is the diamond? The archives? The archival interface doesn't work with mine directly. I only know that you upload to my database, which you haven't done in years, by the way. Until then, these are just notes to yourself. He reaches a hand out suddenly. If you're thinking of going through those looking for a solution, be careful. We don't have a lot of time, and you've made a lot of notes. Okay. Yeah, the stasis chamber. Outside the glass dome, the horizon moves slightly, as though the entire laboratory were swaying several kilometers in the air. In the middle of the room is a large chamber with a figure inside of it. It's the ghostly woman's stasis chamber, the real one from which the labyrinth constructions were made. The changing god's daughter lies inside. Her skin is pale, and there are dark circles around her eyes. Her chest rises and falls as though she were sleeping soundly. This laboratory, this body, must belong to the changing god. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Escape, Advisor, the Sorrow, Daughter, Domination Rod, Wall Projector, Consciousness Transfer, Dalad. Oh, I want to know what the Dalad are, but I don't know if I have time. Damn it. Okay, the Sorrow. The voice says, I don't know what the Sorrow is exactly, just that it's old. Really old. And it doesn't pay much attention to established laws of space-time. I wonder just established those laws really are. Anyway, I first came across mention of it in my research of the tides. It appears to have been some kind of guardian against tidal abuse. Evidence suggests that it may have been solely responsible for the destruction of one of the prior worlds. My experiments with consciousness transfer appears to have woken it. I don't believe it's after me specifically, but I've come to believe it was responsible for the destruction of my previous laboratory. Destroyed one of the previous worlds? That's not good. Suddenly, there's a tremendous popping sound. The air sizzles, causing every hair to stand on end, and your entire body to tingle dangerously. The spectral man appears in front of you again. It puts his hand on your shoulders, though you feel nothing. It shattered the electrostatic shield. If it breaks through the plasma window, we're done for. It looks at the hatch in the ground, as though it can see through it. What's your plan? You've got a plan, right? Okay, so about that storage locker. What about it? Last I remember, you moved a bunch of new stuff in there while I was deactivated. I don't know anything about what you put in there. He crosses his arms. Really, I don't see how I can advise you at all when you keep things from me. Can you turn these alarms off? Sure, just, don't forget the reason for the alarms is still on the way. The blaring alarms cease immediately, replaced with a low rumbling and an occasional clash of metal. Okay. Oh, I want to know all these things. Will the wall projector help, though? It might buy us some time. A picture of the azure steel dome from the chest appears on the globe inside the diamond. Your voice says, "The panel was not easy to find. There are no visible seams anywhere, but it's easy to open once you know it's there. As soon as I found it, I had the trans-dimensional wall projector moved to the new laboratory. I don't know what exactly destroyed the old location, but I know it was trans-dimensional in nature. The projector should create a barrier large enough to surround the entire dome, in case whatever it is comes hunting me again." Okay. Can we flip it on now? Okay, assuming this is the same one mentioned in the archives, this is a trans-dimensional wall projector. It'll create a barrier around the outside of the laboratory that should protect against any non-corporeal creatures. Alright, let's flip it on. You find the panel mentioned in the archives. Once you know where it is, it slides open easily. You place your hand on the black glass inside. It grows warm at your touch, and there's the smell of a light rain. A low hum murmurs at the edge of your hearing, and the air outside the dome begins to shimmer. The shield appears spherical. You can only hope that it will buy you some time against what's coming. Okay. Okay, back to the diamond. Sorry, I need a drink. Okay, the Dalad, I have to ask. Unlike other entries, this one is not in your voice, but the female voice that belongs to the archival diamond itself. The Dalad people were believed to have existed long before the Ninth World. Dalad is probably not what they called themselves. Their true name is unknown. They made great use of a force referred to in these archives as the Tides, using them especially to affect individual psyches. The civilization of the Dalad did not decline, but was completely wiped out by a creature called the Sorrow. So they didn't create it, I assume. So the Sorrow must have destroyed the Dalad because of how they abused the Tides. If the weapon that caused Matkina's illness was... Mika! Did we know her name was Mika? I don't think so. If the weapon that caused Mika's illness was from the same civilization, then it stands to reason that her illness is tidal in nature, like a tidal surge perhaps. If so, perhaps there's some way you can undo it. The Spectral Advisor might know more. Mika? I'm confident we didn't know that. Okay. Okay, so I think Mika's sad because of the tides, possibly a tidal surge. If that were true, yes, that would explain a lot, including why her sickness followed her from one body to the next. Ha! You're a genius, if you don't mind my saying so. The Spectral Advisor paces back and forth, though his feet never actually touch the floor. Could an equivalent surge undo the effects? No, that would require more power than either of your bodies are capable of generating. He stops and looks at you expectantly. But I think you've discovered an exciting path of inquiry. It may take a few years, but... The laboratory rumbles and quakes as the Sorrow pounds away below. Never mind, we don't have use. In a few minutes, we won't have anything. Oh, I haven't asked him about the girl in the chamber. You mean Mika? He looks at the chamber. It's difficult to read his expression, but he seems sad. She's no better than she was before. Worse, actually. I hate to say this, but I don't think we can save her. Daughter. There are no matching entries. Please restate your query. Huh. Mika. Your voice says, Mika's condition is not improved after the consciousness transfer. If anything, it's worsened. I've traced the cause to the weapon I retrieved from the Tabat after their failed siege of Sagas Cliffs, but damned if I know how to undo its effects. There's an agonized pause. I don't understand. I should be able to figure this out. I will figure it out. I just need more data. I've discovered a theoretical process to merge my consciousness with hers, but I just need more data. With luck, I can run experiments in the next few days. What? What weapon? Okay, I need to know more about the siege. I need to know what this weapon is. Your voice says, today marks the 28th anniversary of the siege of Sagas Cliffs. 28 years since her illness began. It was a simple thing to defeat then, to unmoor the city from the present and strip those trapped inside of their Numenera. It has not proven so simple to undo the effects their terror unleashed on us. I still don't know how the ceramine crystal works, nor what it does to the victims. I doubt they know either, but they were pillagers, not priests. They only knew it was a weapon. The voice sighs. I wonder if they knew the extent of its power, how it could destroy the life of a young woman and her father, even chasing them across lives. Ceramine crystal. A picture of a wooden shaft with a crystal tied to one end appears on the globe inside the diamond. Your voice says, a command word. I should have known, though I can't fathom how the Tabat figured it out. Must have something to do with that underspine of theirs. One needs only touch the crystal to its target and speak the name Kadishtu, and the crystal's powers will be unleashed. I brought the crystal into the new laboratory to examine it further. Kadishtu, okay, let's remember that. Klaatu, Barada... Uh-oh. Ah, crap. There's a hiss and screech beneath the floor. Suddenly, the metal hatch flies off its hinges, cracking the strong glass ceiling and then smashing to the glowing pedestal. The spectral man's image disappears. A foul black cloud rises from the hatch, and the air is filled with an unearthly wail and the stench of rotting flesh. Tendrils lash out, slicing metal and synth whenever they touch. A terrible face emerges from the cloud. It examines you, then turns its attention to the chamber. Okay, let's use the ceramine crystal against the sorrow. You shove the crystal deep into the sorrow's form and shout the command word. Shafts of light burst out of the sorrow in all directions. It shrieks in pain and fury. One of its tendrils darts toward you, slicing through both the strong glass wall and steel floor. It reaches your face and you feel nothing. The tendril goes right through your body. You realize the dome is fading away. No, your body is fading away as some device tugs it safely away to another location. That was clever of me. The sorrow's unearthly wail becomes a shriek. Though the spectral advisor is gone, you hear a voice in your head. Thank goodness the failsafe kicked in. You'll be safe, although the girl and I are doomed. I'll be easy to recover, but she... well, I'm sure you'll... He's cut off as the sorrow's tendrils flay the laboratory all around it in a blind fury. The chest and diamond are cut to ribbons. The chamber disintegrates in a ball of purple flame, and the last thing you see as your mind fades from this body is the face of the young girl, melting and boiling into ash. Whoops. Wow, and that was one door. Oops. What did I hit? The ghostly woman appears next to you. She stares at the door you just emerged from, her eyes as round as the moon. I remember now, all of it. I told you I was aware of everything while I was in that chamber. I remember my father abandoning me. I remember, too, how you risked your life for me. After the sorrow destroyed the stasis chamber, I woke up here in the labyrinth. I wasn't aware, though, not for a long time. Not until you came and started changing things. So you're not just a memory. No, she says, firm and certain. I am not a memory, nor a reflection, nor a lacuna. I am Mika, the full consciousness of the changing god's daughter. What do you mean I started changing things? She looks at you. Her eyes are brighter now, full of confidence. You are the last cast-off, the one my father created to witness this place, to command it. You've been changing the labyrinth since you were first born. You are the one who will decide our fate. I wondered about this name at the very beginning. Does last mean most recent or final? Well, I tried, but I couldn't save you. You tried, which is more than I can say for my father. You risked your own life. She sighs deeply. Besides, if she died in there, you and every other cast-off would never have existed. Maybe there are some realities you can't change. Okay, so I think I understand all that I need to. What do we do now? She points to the door on the opposite end of the fathom. There's one more mare. Enter it, open the resonance, and end this, for all of us. Go. There's not much time. Okay, found the door to the resonance. The Spectre isn't here, but the door is inaccessible, right? In a mare, I discovered new information about her illness, something the Changing God never figured out. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, well, I need to take a break here quick, and then we'll come back and investigate door number 2. Thanks for watching, and I will see you shortly.